This segment brought to you by our good friends at American Jobs Alliance, fighting for, guess what? Americans and American jobs for Americans. What a novel idea. Fight for Americans? Who does that anymore? Maybe we should fight, we fight for someone else, but these are fighting for American jobs for Americans. And with me, they've been my partner in arms in opposing these ridiculous trade deals that have ripped the heart and soul out of the U.S. middle-class American economy by taking our jobs away. Oppose TPP. Here's what you have to do. Go to Obamatrade.com. Go to Obamatrade.com. Tell your senator no on TPP. Since NAFTA went down, I got to keep saying this, we've lost 25,000 manufacturing companies that have gone to Mexico or somewhere. 25,000. We've lost at least 5 million jobs, good-paying jobs, gone. The TPP, Trans-Pacific Partnership Deal, quadruple that. That is NAFTA on steroids. But it's a beautiful day in America because Donald Trump's the nominee. And one of my Trump cohorts who has been with me in New Hampshire, trudging in the snow, up to Manchester following that, and he's been with us every step of the way, my good friend, the executive director of the American Jobs Alliance, live from New York and the UN, Curtis Ellis. Curtis, it's a beautiful day in America, don't you think?
It's morning in America, John. I see the sun coming through. It's coming up, coming through. We're bathed in the glow of the orange hair of Donald Trump. It's wonderful.
Birds are singing.
We finally have a real choice.
Chipmunks are happy. Squirrels are gathering nuts. It's just a beautiful thing. Flowers are blooming. It's magical. It's like the Magic Kingdom.
It's right. The springs are springing lemonade. It's just fabulous. It's wonderful. There's rainbows everywhere. And now we have the great big fight like you have never seen. This is going to be the Battle Royal. It's going to make World Wrestling Federation look like a Sunday school ice cream social.
Epic.
This
Epic
is going
battle.
to be something.
I'm so excited about this. This is the matchup I wanted.
That's
because unlike the ridiculous Romney campaign and the McCain campaign, where it was just milquetoast and every word was measured, and do you know that for Romney for his campaign to send a tweet out, do you know that this is a true story? Like for the official Romney tweet, it had to be filtered through 5 people. 5 people had to sign off on it. Any tweet, right?
Oh, my God.
Donald Trump basically gets up. He's having some eggs. He's like,
well, 5
tweets
people
out
had
stuff.
to sign off on the tweet, but, John, you're ignoring the fact that they went through 12 focus groups and 3 polls to come up with the language that then those 5 people had to sign off on.
That's right.
Then they had a colonoscopy first to find the person who was going to sign off on it finally, because he had his head so far someplace that's what they needed to do to find that person.
He stood for nothing. He believed in nothing, and so it was all like a big marketing campaign, like they were trying to sell Orange Crush or something. Let's get to this campaign. Mr. Trump is going to take it right to her. I mean, she's going to have to answer. She's going to have a lot to answer to, and I think he's going to make this a very stark choice for the American people in November, and I really think Trump has hit bottom. So when you look at the new polls that have come out, oh my God, Clinton's up by 12. I don't think that's
she's going to go, my friends.
That's what I think.
She better enjoy it while she's got it, because it ain't going to get any better.
Right.
Yeah, this is a stark choice. It's going to be, first of all, on the most basic level or on the biggest picture level, 38,000 feet. This is change versus status quo. This is another change election. That's clear. Obviously, look at what's happened. People are ready to vote for a 75-year-old communist rather than Hillary Clinton on one side. And on the other side, they're ready to vote for a billionaire real estate developer rather than the leading political figures of the other party. People are sick of the status quo. So now we've finally settled down. You have the ultimate change person, Donald Trump, versus the ultimate status quo insider, Hillary Clinton. She's been kicking around Washington for, 40 years. I mean, remember, she was on the Watergate Committee. That's 74. That's 42 years ago. She is a creature of the political establishment in the very year when people are ready to vote for Rocky Raccoon rather than a political establishment figure. So she starts with a huge handicap. Then she has another handicap, which is called Bill Clinton and NAFTA and China. She is part of the political dynasty that gave us everything Donald Trump is running against. Everything poll after poll shows the American people are ready to vote against and have rejected in the biggest way. That is the globalist free trade policies that have destroyed our country, destroyed the American standard of living, destroyed community after community, reduced us to drug addiction and dereliction. And that's what he's going to hang around her neck like a cinder block and throw her over the edge of the boat. And she's going to sink to the bottom, and she's going to meet Davy Jones' locker, and she can become First Lady of the octopus-faced creatures that live in the bottom of the sea.
That would be, I think, if she got that honor, it's a little better than I think she'll do. But,
right, she'll be there in the octopus's garden in the sea with Ringo Starr singing the song. And this is a choice that we've never had. The American voters have never had the choice that they will have in this election. A clear nationalist, someone who says put America first, versus the globalist. Hillary Clinton is the globalist, and when you see all these so-called Republicans saying, I'm going to vote for Hillary, I just can't do this, that is now the latest lie that Donald Trump has exposed by running. He has exposed now that the globalists took over both parties, and they pretended to be different, but really, they were, when it came down to the signature issue, the most salient issue facing our country, both parties were run by the same crowd, the globalists. They will put the UN values and the third world before America. Look at what the Washington Post editorial page says. Listen to what the apologists in the Washington think tank say when they justify free trade. They say, we've raised 1 billion people out of poverty in China. Well, you know what? It's not the job of the American government to raise the Chinese people out of poverty. And Bill Clinton said, when the Chinese become wealthy, they're going to become democratic and they're going to buy products from America. Well, and Mitch McConnell said the same thing. Didn't happen. We know it didn't happen. And Hillary Clinton better watch herself. She better take herself off autopilot, take that tongue off autopilot, or you're going to hear the same thing from her. And that will be an act of political suicide when she says those words. And if she doesn't say them, don't worry. We'll play back the tapes from Bill Clinton saying them, and it'll be real clear. She's going to have to run, and hide from that.
I think you're spot on. I got to tell you, Curtis, what you just said, I haven't thought of that. My goodness, you're so spot on. These Republicans who are saying, yeah, I'm going to vote for Clinton now, you're right. It's exposing the whole one world, global, it doesn't matter what party, they're all the same mantra. That's exactly what it is. And when I see these people like Eric Erickson and this other one, Bill Kristol, they're going to vote for Clinton. I think Trump summed it up. Somebody said, Jeb Bush might vote for Clinton. And Trump said, that's what he said. He said, okay, well, that's 2 votes. Jeb and his wife. I'll have to make him up somewhere. I mean, it's like the best thing that Trump can do is just blow this off. Because right now, the latest poll shows he's picking up 15% of Democrats just by showing up. That's for starters.
Before he's even started trying to convert them.
He's got 15% right now. Rush Limbaugh predicted yesterday Trump is going to win in a landslide. I agree with him. I don't think there's any question about it. Because when you lay this out and you've got Clinton, and I think you nailed it, the globalist, interventionalist, trade, all these trade deals, she's for every self-serving interest group out there versus the guy who's standing up for Americans. He was on Wolf Blitzer last night, and I thought he had a great interview. But here was his best answer. Trump was talking about the NATO countries and these other countries where we have troops paying for it. He says, we can't police the world and pay for it, or we're bankrupt. If they want us there, they have to pay us. And so Blitzer said, well, wait a minute. The head of the South Korean army said, they're paying 50%. And Trump said, really, 50%? And Blitzer said, yes. And he said, well, tell them when I'm president, they're going to have to pay 100%. There's no 50% off. He said there's no buy one, get one free. This isn't a BOGO.
No buy one, get one
He said
free.
this isn't a BOGO deal. I mean, like you buy one troop, get one free. I mean, it's
so ridiculous. What we're doing in South Korea, and he mentioned, I saw that interview, he talked about the South China Sea, that China's building these military bases in the South China Sea. What the 7th Fleet is doing in East Asia is we are patrolling the sea lanes and keeping them open so that Japan and Korea and China can sell us all the stuff that is stealing our jobs. I mean,
and we're paying for it.
We're paying for it. We are paying to keep open the sea lanes so China can eat our lunch. What the heck? I mean, this is just insane. And then they say, oh, well, we need the Trans-Pacific Partnership to keep China from dominating the area. Well, excuse me, if we want to keep China from dominating the area, don't let them sell their crap in our country. Then they won't have the money to dominate the area.
No brainer. I mean, it is
absurd.
so absurd. But look, we're on the same page. I think that Trump is going to get 20% of the African American vote in total. I think he's going to get the 25% of the African American male vote in total. I think he's going to a bigger percentage of Hispanics than anybody realizes. And look, everybody says, oh my God, it's a landslide. And I'm like, he's going to win every state that Romney won, right? There's no state that Romney won that he's going to lose.
Right.
And he's going to run. And if he does that and he wins just 3 states, Ohio, Florida, and Pennsylvania, all 3 of them now, he's either tied, ahead, or within the margin of error, all 3 of them, Pennsylvania, Ohio, and Florida. He wins those 3 plus Romney. He's president. That's it.
Right.
Game
That's
over.
It. Yeah.
It's not a daunting task here.
No. And he's very well positioned to win those 3 states.
Absolutely.
And just one last word on this Trans-Pacific Partnership business and how the 2 parties are run by the same globalists. I mean, you saw the first thing Mitch McConnell did when he came in is, I've got to pass the Trans-Pacific Partnership, when he became majority leader. And then, but the parties try to distract each other, to distract us with these other crazy issues, right? Oh, it's all about the campus issues, sex and this and that. Well, I'll tell you what, the Trans-Pacific Partnership is a bigger threat to our Constitution than the transgender bathroom in North Carolina, okay?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's that simple. We're supposed to be worried about the transgender issue, the transgender bathroom, worried about the transgender Olympic athlete. And no, let's get down. Finally, we're going to cut through the nonsense and have an election about the real stuff here.
Well, that's what we need to do, and that's why I think Donald Trump is going to take it right to her. The American people are going to have a very distinct choice, and Donald Trump is going to go right to them and speak right to them, and we'll see what plays out. And I want to remind our listeners that Curtis Ellis and I spent a week in Manchester, New Hampshire before the New Hampshire primary there on Radio Row, and talked to a lot of people there. And Curtis, you look back at that, it was freezing cold. We were in the snow, and there was ice and all that. And boy, did you think we'd end up where we are today when you got to New Hampshire?
Well, I hoped when I saw that crowd. We were at the victory rally the night of of Donald Trump's big victory. When I saw that crowd there, and I met the people who were supporting Trump, I thought we would end up here. Contrary to what the media says and the stereotype, this is not a bunch of yahoos, a bunch of toothless, unemployed, bitter OxyContin addicts supporting Donald Trump. There were sophisticated, intelligent business owners, small business owners, all kinds of people, veterans. I met immigrants there.
I know.
I met people from the Middle East.
That one meeting we had really was a telltale sign that this was and is a movement. Curtis, I'm out of time. More information, go to Obamatrade.com.